Hi, it's nice to have you back here on my channel. And today we're going to be talking about some of the laws in Nigeria that are created to, protect children from child abuse, not just child sexual abuse. So we have the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, which talks about human rights and also child rights. We have the Child Rights Act, 2003. It talks about protecting children from all manner of abuse. We also have the Violence Against People Prohibition Act, which talks about protecting people from sexual violence, including children. We have, which other one do we have now? We have the NAPTIP, which is the National Agency for Prohibition Against Human Trafficking, and that protects children also against child prostitution. We also have the Labor Act, which protects children against child labor. So we have a variety of them, but those are some of them that I've mentioned. All right. I want to briefly talk about the lapses in the prosecution of cases that have to do with child sexual abuse. We have a lot of lapses, in the prosecution of child sexual abuse in Nigeria, but I'm just going to mention one, and then probably my next videos, I'm going to mention the other ones. We have long court processes, we have lengthy trials because this is due to so many reasons. You find out that a child sexual abuse case that has been taken to court takes as much as 2 to 5 years for judgment to be given. And we're talking 2 to 5 years. Before you know it, the victims are already, worn out. They are tired of waiting for justice, and then they just generally give up. So most of the time, we don't get conviction from child sexual abuse cases because it takes a very long period for one to get a conviction. So, based on that, a lot of victims give up. They don't even want to go to court because they know that it would take so long for them to get justice, and then they just decide to just push it aside and move on with their lives. Now, this leads to low conviction rates because if you check the NAPTIP website, it states that there is no central database for child abuse cases that have convictions because there's usually very, very, very few convictions on child sexual abuse cases. Um, Another thing that affects the prosecution of child sexual abuse cases is strikes. When you have court strikes that happen in our country every now and then, it's not really happened for a little while, but it does happen frequently. For lack of payment or one thing or the other, the courts go on strike. It affects these cases. And then you find out that at the end of the day, the cases are abandoned. Councils refuse to show up, and because the parties are no longer interested, in pursuing the case. So it's very important because there have been so many promises by the government to create courts, special courts to deal with child sexual abuse cases. Just when I say special courts, I mean special courts like the small claims court. In the magistrate court, we have the small claims court that deals with debt amounts that are very little, probably between from 1 million and below, thereabout, or from 5 million below. So if the government can create courts, specialized courts that will handle child sexual abuse cases, then maybe we can get some speedy convictions from those courts, because then we know that, okay, these courts are specialized for child sexual abuse to attend to them, and that's what we need. We need special courts that deal with child sexual abuse cases that will make the trials speedy, and for victims to be able to get conviction and justice right on time. So this is one of the lapses that is being faced in the prosecution of child sexual abuse cases in the courts today. In my subsequent video, I'll talk about the other lapses. Thank you for watching.